Hi, now that many people are using Seesaw, I'm getting a lot of questions about how you as a teacher can be sending items out to your students. And this is really simple to do and such an awesome tool. So in order to do this, the first thing you're going to want to double check is if you click in your settings, and under Manage Class, make sure that you have enabled item editing right here. By default, this is off, but you want to give your students the ability to edit anything that you send to them. So in this class, the item editing is enabled. I'm signed in as a teacher, and that's going to allow me to send things out to my students instead of if I were signed in as a student, I would be posting to my folder. So I'm going to click the plus sign. And this shows me all the things I can do. As a teacher, I still have access to all of these same tools that my students have access to. If I were signed in as a teacher from my iPad, I would be able to access all the same tools that an iPad has. So what I use most often is upload file. And I'm able to upload a JPEG, a PNG, or a PDF file. What I've noticed is if you upload a PDF file, when the students edit, they're only able to use the text option and type, where what I think is super cool is when they can use the drawing tool of Seesaw to annotate what you've given them or complete a page that you've given them, and then use the microphone to tell about it. So my trick, and I'm going to open up a PDF that I already had here. Instead of uploading this as a PDF, on my Mac, I'm going to say Shift Command 4, which gives me this little target, and I can take a screenshot of just the part of this that I want. And it's going to turn it into an image file. And so now if I say choose file, that screenshot I just took is going to be on my desktop. I can also just drag it and drop it into this area. I could also add some directions here. So I could use the microphone. Students, I'd like you to open up this coffee cup of stay up late excuses and write in your excuses, just like you might use if you were the pigeon trying to stay up. So now my students can even hear the directions rather than have to read the directions for this assignment. I'm going to click, just as the students do, that green check mark. I could add a caption in here if I wanted to say, the pigeon likes to stay up late. What are some of the excuses you use to stay up late? And I could again put a caption or another set of instructions here. When I click this arrow the next time, instead of choosing a name to post into their journal, you're choosing who you'd like to see this. So if you want to send it to all of your students, you could click everyone. If there's just a certain student or group of students that you want to receive it, you could just click their names. And then I'm going to click that check mark one more time. And this is going to upload so that all of your students then will be able to view. This works really well if you have some photos from a field trip that you've taken that you'd like to send out. Some teachers are even using the notes area here to type in their class newsletter. And then you can send this out to parents using Seesaw. What I really like is if parents are connected to this, you can look and see which parents have viewed. So here I'm looking at Mrs. Brammer and at Beartooth, and I can see which parents have actually logged into Seesaw and viewed this. So if you're sending out important information, you can see who's actually been looking at that information. So that's how you can send items out to your students pretty easily. Another thing I think is cool about this is that you could send a link to them. So if there was a certain website or video or something that you wanted them to visit, you could get the link to that. So I'm just pulling from ABC right now. And if I post or paste that URL in here, and again, I'm going to hit the check mark, wait for that to load. I'll have to check mark that again, but this would be a really quick way to send your students to a particular website or URL that you wanted them to get to without them having to type in all of that information. So here it is. I'm going to say, yep, that's what I want, select it, and then again that will be posted to all of my students. I'll do another short video that shows how students can then open it and edit it once it's been posted.